So you're staring down the IPMAT, and that verbal ability and reading comprehension section, yeah, it can feel like a huge wall, right? But it doesn't have to be. What you really need is a solid plan. And guess what? That's exactly what we're going to build today. A step-by-step 5-month roadmap to absolutely crush the VARC. And we're starting right now.
Okay, first things first, we've got to know our enemy, right? To beat the VARC section, you have to understand what it's made of. The backbone, of course, is reading comprehension. You'll get 2 or 3 of those dense passages. But look at the other heavy hitters. We've got a good chunk of questions on parajumbles, grammar, and a really important focus on idioms, plus a few on word usage and fill in the blanks. See, this isn't just some boring list, it's literally your blueprint for success. It tells us exactly where we need to focus our energy to get the biggest bang for our buck.
So here's the game plan, our 5-month journey to mastery. In January, we're going to build a foundation that's rock solid. Come February, it's all about honing your accuracy. Then in March, we'll develop a smart test-taking strategy. April is when we push to reach peak performance. And finally, May is the final countdown. See how it works? Each month builds on the last, guiding you step by step right to your goal.
All right, let's jump right into month 1, January. This is all about laying that foundation. Think about it. You wouldn't build a skyscraper on a patch of sand, would you? Same thing here. You can't get a top score in VARC if your grammar is shaky and you're not reading consistently. This first step, it's completely non-negotiable.
Okay, so what does your day-to-day look like in January? Here's the mission. First, 30 minutes of reading every single day, from really good sources like The Hindu or Aeon. They're full of the complex ideas you'll see on the exam. But here's the key, and you've got to listen to this. You have to actively engage. Don't just let the words fly by. Write a quick summary. Make up a few questions about what you just read. This forces your brain to actually process it. As you go, build that vocabulary. Don't just write down words, use them in a sentence. And finally, tackle 1 RC passage a day. And for now, I want you to completely forget about the clock. Speed doesn't matter yet. Your only job is to understand every single thing you read.
And this quote right here, it's the perfect mindset for January. Don't just read to tick a box. Look, if you're just skimming to say you did your 30 minutes, you're just wasting your own time. The real magic, the real progress happens when you dive deep and really get involved with the text.
When it comes to grammar, these are your big targets. You have to start with the absolute basics, the parts of speech. Then you'll want to lock down the topics that show up again and again. Tenses, which have been super important on recent exams, subject-verb agreement, and parallel structure. Bottom line, you can't spot an error if you don't know the rule inside and out, so you've got to master these.
All right, January's done. Now we're moving into February. The whole game changes now. It's not enough to just know the rules anymore. Now it's all about applying them correctly, with laser-like precision. February is all about accuracy.
And you know what? A huge piece of that accuracy puzzle is having a killer test-taking strategy. But what does that even mean? Well, it's not just about what you know. It's about how you use what you know when the clock is ticking, how you manage your time, and, this is the big one, how you learn from every single mistake you make. It's the skill that turns a good score into a great one.
So in February, we're really leveling up. We're bumping up the RC practice to 2 passages, and now we're going to start paying a little attention to the clock just to build that sense of pace. We'll start tackling those trickier questions about inference and tone and dive into more advanced grammar. And here's the game changer, the weekly mock. But listen, the point isn't the score. The real gold is in the analysis afterwards. You need to be a detective. Where did my logic fail? Where did I burn through too much time?
Okay, welcome to March. Now we get really serious about strategy. This is the month where we train you to handle real IPMAT level questions, not just correctly, but efficiently. We're going to develop the mindset of a top scorer, someone who doesn't just survive under pressure, but actually thrives.
March is all about intensity and volume. We're cranking up the RC practice to 3 passages a day, really pushing for that 8 to 10 minute sweet spot for each one. You're going to become an absolute master of elimination, learning how to confidently slash through wrong answer choices. And that makes practice, it's so important. Because on the real exam, they throw everything at you at once. Your brain has to be lightning fast at switching from a grammar question to an RC to a parajumble, all without skipping a beat.
And that brings us to April. This is what we call the peak performance phase. Everything we've done so far, the foundation, the accuracy, the strategy, it all comes together right here. The new mission? Squeezing every possible point out of the section through smart, strategic question selection. And this is exactly why smart selection is your superpower on this exam.
Just look at these two scenarios. Would you rather be the person who frantically attempts 20 questions and only gets 10 right, or the person who calmly attempts 15 but nails 14 of them? With negative marking breathing down your neck, the answer is a no-brainer. It's not about doing more, it's about getting more right. Accuracy crushes volume every single time. So how do we build this superpower? In April, you're going to take 2 VARC mocks every week, but each one has a totally different mission. For your first mock of the week, your one and only goal is accuracy. Don't worry about the clock, just get every question right. Then, in the second mock, you put on your strategist hat and focus on timing, on question selection, on your whole game plan. This is the kind of internal monologue you need to have during the exam. As soon as you see those passages, you should be asking, okay, which one looks easiest for me? Which one should I do first? Is there one that looks so dense I should just skip it? Or maybe I can just grab 2 easy questions from that hard passage and then get out. Learning to spot these time sinks and just walk away, that's not just smart, it's an elite level skill.
And just like that, we're in May, the final countdown. Now, this month is not about cramming. Let me say that again. No cramming. It's about maintaining all the amazing momentum you've built, locking in your confidence, and making sure you show up on exam day feeling fresh and ready to perform at your best.
Okay, in these final 10 days, the rules of the game completely change. Listen up. You should absolutely keep revising your grammar notes and doing some light practice just to stay sharp. But what you don't do is try to learn anything new. You don't burn yourself out with marathon mock sessions, and you absolutely do not neglect your sleep or your mental health. Look, all the heavy lifting is done. The hard work is in the bank. Your only job now is to show up on game day feeling rested, confident, and ready to go.
So there you have it. From building that rock-solid foundation all the way back in January to hitting your peak performance at just the right time, you now have the complete roadmap. The plan is right here in front of you. The only question left is, are you ready to start the journey?